FOIA request, received multiple FOIA requests since the last council meeting. Exponent Telegram did submit a request dated April 29th requesting a list of applicants for the Assistant City Manager position. Response was provided to him today. Also received several response requests from Mr. Martin Schaefer submitting the following request dated Friday, May 1st, requesting payroll information to be updated on a spreadsheet that he provided to my office as of for December 31st, 2014 for all gross wages of certain employees. Again, this really doesn't fall in the FOIA, but we are going to respond to that and fill those spaces in on that spreadsheet for him. Submitted a request dated Monday, May 4th, requesting review of code enforcement files on 531 Milford Street, which the previous owner is Ms. Pierpont, and also the current owner, Ms. Bailey, for the past 7 years. This information will be made available to him also in the very near future. Also amended the FOIA request on March 30th that he submitted on May 1st to include all legal fees associated with the fire commission, and this will also be provided to him in the due time period. And then lastly, submitted a request on May 6th requesting information regarding the hotel conference center proposal. A response was sent out to him, I believe, later today, as this information is requested on the city's website as well as in the possession of URA's possession. So that concludes the matter.
Unfinished business. Consideration of second and final reading and public hearing of an ordinance of the City of Clarksburg ratifying and confirming the appointment of John Keeling as the city's code official pursuant to Article 1702.02a of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Clarksburg. Notices regarding the public hearing appearing against the Telegram on 4/21 and 4/28.
We will now open this up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time.
Good evening. My name is Ralph Peterson. I've been here before council before. I have my feelings about the employment of the city engineer. You've heard those before. I don't think that's going to change anything tonight. I think the outcome of this is a foregone conclusion, but I wanted to thank Mr. Kennedy for making the review possible of this in the next year. And I'm hoping that what will happen in the next year is that the process will be more open and transparent in that there will be an advertisement for contract position of city code enforcement official. I believe there are several individuals and companies that could provide these services to the city, and I don't recall seeing any advertisement or solicitation of interest from the city to secure these services. And I hope that that will occur when this is reviewed a year from now. Thank you.
We will now close the public hearing.
Madam Mayor, I move that this council give positive approval to the second and final reading of this ordinance as titled.
Second.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Robert Bailey?
Yes.
Robert Kaplan?
Yes.
Ryan Kennedy?
Yes.
Sam Lopez?
No.
Jim Malfregeot?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bowden?
Yes.
Mayor Gordon?
Yes.
Consideration of second and final reading and public hearing of an ordinance of the City of Clarksburg amending Article 1712 of Part 17 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Clarksburg to enact subsection 1712.01c, establishing the maximum permissible height of weeds and/or plant growth pursuant to Section 302.4 of the International Property Maintenance Code at 6 inches above the ground surface. Notices here as previously stated.
We will now open this up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time.
My name is Bill Foster, and I live adjacent to some of the state highway property where Route 50 comes in town, and I live close to a city park. And looking at, with experience, when you had such an ordinance in the past, and now that you don't have any ordinance, it doesn't seem to be any different. The weeds and grass on public properties of all kinds, like that in my area at least, is allowed to grow to whatever height they've got time to get around to cut it, and when they cut it, they continue to do it. But at maybe 12 inches, 15 inches, 18 inches. It's rarely going to be cut to keep it to 6 inches or less. And I'd like to know, because I haven't been able to look up the ordinance to see how that would cover, but how would the enforcement intend to go on public properties? Both city parks, Jackson Park is the one in particular, and this year they've done a little better, but often it grows 12 inches on the bank coming down to Linden Avenue. It's almost always a foot or more along Route 50, and on properties on Linden Avenue on both sides, which may either belong to the State Highway Department or to the city. I'm not quite sure in some of the places who owns it, but I think the State Highway Department usually has the trim. But it goes well over a foot. And if it's not going to be cut down on the state property adjacent, what would be the concern that it would be cut down on the private properties adjacent to the state property? I don't know if there has been any thought to that or consideration for that, but Route 50 goes all the way through town, and it's the same problem everywhere you look, is you can look anytime on the way home or you're going along Route 50 on one of the older streets in town, and you will see that it hasn't been cut yet this year, unless they have started cutting somewhere at the other end that I haven't seen. And so my concern is that the enforcement be reasonable vis-a-vis the public-private distinction. To have it cut down to 4 inches and it gets up to 6 on my property, and someone says, hey, you've got to cut that or else. And on the other side of the fence, it's 18 inches. Makes very little sense to me.
True.
I think that I'd like to know a little bit about how that ordinance would be enforced regarding public properties. Great.
We will follow up with you on that. We will follow up with you.
Oh, I agree with his points. Kind of I'm curious now to think about. Just speaking for my own self, since I've cut my own yard every week, it's nice to have it a little bit higher, 6 inches, maybe 8, 12. I can skip a week here and there.
Anyone else?
Oh my gosh, Chuck.
We will now close the public hearing.
Madam Mayor.
Oh my gosh.
Madam Mayor, I move that this council give positive approval to the second and final reading of this ordinance as titled.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of second and final reading and public hearing of an ordinance in the city of Clarksburg amending Article 1315.01 of Part 13 of the codified ordinances of the city of Clarksburg by amending the zoning map, therefore establishing zoning all that certain tract of parcel of land situate in the city of Clarksburg, Whole District, Clarksburg, Harrison County, West Virginia, being approximately 130 acres, recently as an industrial 1 district. Notice the view as previously stated.
We will now open this up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time. And we will go ahead and close the public hearing.
Madam Mayor, I move that the council give positive approval to the second and final reading of this ordinance as titled.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of second and final reading and public hearing of an ordinance of the order determining the necessity for continuance of levies for the fiscal years beginning July 1, 2016, July 1, 2017, July 1, 2018, July 1, 2019, and July 1, 2020 for improvements, maintenance, repairs, equipment, vehicles, and capital projects for public parks, playgrounds, and facilities operated by the City of Clarksburg Board of Park Commissioners for improvements, maintenance, paving, and repairs to streets, alleys, sidewalks, and bridges, and for purchase of various vehicles and equipment for the police and fire departments, and providing for submission to the voters within the City of Clarksburg, West Virginia, the question of continuance of the levy at a special election to be held on the 22nd day of August 2015, and providing for the holding and determination of such election. Notices appeared as previously stated.
We will now open this up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time. We will close the public hearing.
Madam Mayor, I move that this council give positive approval to the second and final reading of this ordinance as titled.
Second.
Second. Discussion.
Discussion.
is the language under instructions going to be on the ballot as it's shown here?
I don't know that it would be that exact language, it may be a little less complicated. I think that's a general.
So that people understand what I'm asking. There will be a ballot that would simply provide an opportunity to vote for the levy or to vote against the levy. And beneath the language is instructions saying those favoring the additional levies place an X in the bracket before for the levy. My question is, can we, if we're going to put instructions on there, can we state those favoring the continued additional levies so that people understand that this is not a new levy, this is a continuation of an existing levy?
Because it says additional, as though it's
Correct. It could be,
more than what was there.
yes, there could be misconception as to that language, and if we're allowed to word it in a way that would make it clear that it's a continuation of a levy, I think it would be helpful. That's all I have.
Madam Mayor, I do think, I'd like the city manager, since we have so many new people here that weren't here at the earlier hour, on what would happen to the city of Clarksburg if the levy were not passed.
Well, again, what was mentioned in the levy, part of the funds to be utilized, were again, largely the street paving program, sidewalk program, purchase of police and fire vehicles and equipment. Again, we have a large amount of the levy that goes towards those. Also, 40% of the levy does go to the park board, upkeep of their assets that they do operate and run on a daily basis. So the levy is very vital to us to continue to provide some of these essential equipment services.
I noticed that in this levy, it's proposed that we add Waldemar, and how would that be affected? Why are we putting Waldemar in?
Well, Baltimore obviously is one that we do own. It's an asset of the city. It's a historical structure. We met with the library, Frank Ferrari and I, multiple times regarding the structure. We've invested a lot of funds into that over the previous years. So we want to continue to do so, continue to upkeep that property. So this levy contemplates an additional amount of money that's going to have not in the past.
And it also affects our police and fire departments too, with keeping the equipment current, is that correct?
As I mentioned.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
New business, consideration of a resolution to support the designation of the West Fork River Water Trail System.
Madam Mayor, I move that this council give positive approval to this resolution as titled.
Second.
Any discussion? As we mentioned earlier, we're not committing any dollars to this, we're just supporting their efforts. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of a resolution of the City Council of the City of Clarksburg expressing support of the RCD football field and track improvements project and to make a financial commitment thereto.
Madam Mayor, I move that this council refer this resolution to planning and zoning. I'm sorry. Look at the wrong. Right church with the wrong pew.
You pardon yourself.
Consideration of this resolution of the city council to support the RCB football field and track improvements, which would entail the dedication of our
Construction tax.
B&O construction.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah. Mark, do you want to go ahead?
Would you,
Yeah.
please explain what we are intending to do there?
Again, I was approached several months ago by the Friends of RCB Football High School regarding the athletic track and also field. This is something that we definitely wanted to partake, speak to the majority of council. So tonight on the agenda of this resolution, we show support for that, but also monetarily, we would also support it by reinvesting the business occupation tax dollars collected back into the project.
And that's roughly somewhere in the
definitely for the betterment of Clarksburg, to help obviously, everybody that uses the track, the field, the school itself, and I think it's a great commitment for Clarksburg to help with this project.
Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration of a request by Truman Pocazilla requesting an abandonment of an undeveloped street, a paper street identified as Franklin Avenue, located in Riverside Addition.
Madam Mayor, now we're going to refer this request to P&Z for further evaluation and report back to the city council.
Second.
Yes.
Yes, second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Council comments?
Do you have any comments?
Mine would simply be thanking everybody once again for attending our council meeting. It's nice to see the public involved, and I thank you all for being here.
Same here, and always good to see a full house and see the people in this big city. Again, I saw Antero working at the Staley Playground today, and I think that's great to see our businesses evolve. And it takes that private partnership, working hand in hand with the government to make a successful program work. That's all.
I'd like to take a minute and thank Tony's Ice Cream. They celebrated 50 years today, and anybody that runs a small business knows what it takes to keep it going, and to be there for 50 years. We need to, had we known soon enough, we could have had them here and done some sort of presentation, but I think it's wonderful that they've maintained 50 years of serving ice cream in a neighborhood. So I'd like to offer them congratulations. And for all of you that are mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. And hope you have a great weekend. And that concludes my remarks here.
I'll quickly just echo the Happy Mother's Day, because I had that on my list. And I'm going to be a little bit personal. I'm headed to Baltimore in 2 weeks to celebrate my mom's 90th birthday. She had 8 kids, and all 8 kids will be there, and we're planning on a nice celebration. So I'll tip my hat to her and send a message to her in Baltimore. Folks from the YMCA wanted to thank our Public Works Department for helping out with some of the street up to the YMCA, and also helped out with, I think, a lower section of a road that they actually care for. They were very appreciative. Farmers Market, which has now moved, our Clarksburg Farmers Market, which has now moved to Tractor Supply at East Point, next to Jack's Furniture, opened up for the first time in that location last Saturday. They're going to have a ribbon cutting on May 23rd at 10 a.m. and just encourage anybody that wants to attend to do that. I do some work over the past several years. I've been involved with our local Clarksburg Harrison Cultural Foundation. The Cultural Foundation has been bequeathed a sizable amount of money for performance in our city over the next 40 years. And it's going to allow us to do some wonderful things, and certainly plays right into the opportunities that will be made available to this community when we restore the Robinson Grand Theater. But the first item that will actually be sponsored by the Cultural Foundation and carried through by our Parks Department is the Wheeling Symphony. Some of you may recall that for many years we had a nice 4th of July weekend concert out at Clarksburg City Park in Nutter Fort. I don't think it's going to be quite the carnival that we had out there, because we won't have the land to do it. But the Wheeling Symphony will be coming back for a performance 4th of July weekend, July 6th specifically, which is a Monday night. And I believe, is that the holiday? Is Monday, because the 4th of July is on a Saturday, so, well, we hope it is, because that would make it nice. But anyway, July 6th, the Wheeling Symphony will be performing at our Clarksburg Amphitheater. And finally, because I didn't hear a comment, are we aware of, and I'm sorry, I got Erica, I'm not sure last, are we aware of this cat situation, or can we expect that we'll maybe look into this? I don't know over what period of time these shootings of animals have occurred, but can we?
Her incident, we are aware of.
Okay. But I mean, the fact that there's been numerous, according to her, I would hope that we take a look into this, and okay, and thank you for bringing it to our attention.
3 years ago, that cat was doused with kerosene.
Well, I mean, we need to look at it, obviously.
I mean, are all these incidents being reported, do you know?
I know mine was specifically to the Clarksburg Police Department. Some of the others, I'm not specifically sure yet if they are.
Well, I know Animal Control came and got that cat 3 years ago.
Well, we need to obviously make sure we know what's going on there, if it's something. Okay, that's all I have.
Again, I want to wish everybody happy Mother's Day, and thank everyone for coming. We have a standing room only crowd. It's great to see people participating in their government, taking interest in it. And the most important way you can take interest in your government is to vote. So be sure to show up on June 2nd or for early voting leading up to that and vote, because ultimately the people of Clarksburg are the ones that are in charge here, and you need to pick your leaders for the next 4 years.
I'm not going to take up too much time here. Recently, some of us attended the National League of Cities Conference, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with a particular exhibitor, and actually I registered myself in the city of Clarksburg. I want to say up front, this is not going to cost the city of Clarksburg anything. It's just going to pertain to having a couple of workshops. And this corporation is willing to work with the city of Clarksburg, and as far as I know, we will be the first city in the state
Assault with a deadly weapon.
You should have brought a laptop.
You almost got him.
I wasn't trying to fool you more.
Hey, Rick, go ahead and hold it up there for us.
It's okay, so you can.
Anyway, the corporation is legal, and we can be the first in the state to register every business in the city, and we will be, for example, Mayor Goings can take the 5th floor, register a 5th floor, address, phone number, hours of operation, and the menu, and someone Googles the city of Clarksburg, and every city business will pop up. So I spoke to Martin and Anthony yesterday just a little bit about this, and we have a little bit of homework to do on this, but it will not cost the city anything. They even provide, I almost forgot this. They even provide everything free.
Haha, fancy, fancy.
Oh, well, now you have my vote, Jimmy.
And what this is, I mean, they provide hats, shirts, pins. But I think it's something that we definitely need to explore, because it's a free service.
Very good idea.
But I don't know how you can go wrong. But I don't know how you can go wrong with a corporation like Google.
Oh, goodness, now you're right on.
And that's all for Joe.
I second.
Did you not get the?
No,
Why not?
I don't know.
Ask.
That's how you do it.